been southbound, I've been hellbound, riding on the midnight train. Going too fast now, think I'll slow down, standing in the pouring rain.
What's going on, guys? Tristan and Tony back with another episode of the One Hell of a Life Outdoor Podcast. And tonight we got Devin Smith. He is a part, or do you own or are you a part of Treaty Oak Waterfowl?
So I own it with one of my buddies, Chase Davis, which him and I kind of just spontaneously decided to create Treaty Oak Waterfowl one day.
Awesome. Yeah, and a couple Texas boys that are big waterfowl hunters, and we've kept up with each other on social media over the last couple of years, and have talked about connecting on a podcast before, but finally just made it happen. And excited to get to know Devin a little bit more tonight and talk about what it's like duck hunting out that way and all that good stuff. But
yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, man. But for people listening, Devin, just go into a little background. You know who you are and what you do out there in Texas for work and all that stuff, and kind of what got you into the outdoors.
Well, like Tristan said, I kind of grew up out here in the middle of Texas, where it's kind of just what you're surrounded by is hunting. Mm-hmm. Kind of didn't really get into it a whole lot till I was about 16. One of my buddies took me out with his grandparents, who were really close to mine, and so kind of got me started on it. Work-wise, dude, I don't do much. I do pest control right now while I'm going to school, just so I can get my EMT cert. But
right on,
dude, I live the most simple life you can imagine out here.
Nice and peaceful, though, huh?
Oh yeah, I love it. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
That's awesome, man. No, I didn't realize you were going to school. So you're going to school for EMT, you said?
Yes. So I'm doing my EMT cert, and then I'll do my fire as well.
Nice, man. I didn't really. I thought for some reason I just thought you were older. Do you get that a lot?
Yeah. I get like 30s a lot, and dude, I won't be 25 till June this year, actually.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, no, that's funny you say that, because for when I was in my early 20s, I'm 28 now, and when I was in my early 20s, my wife always jokes that the only reason she decided to go out with me because she thought I was 28 or something, and I was 20 at the time, 21. But I used to get that a lot. Now I think I'm starting to get to the point where I'm I think I just want to look 28. I don't want to look any older than this.
Right. I knew that we weren't too far apart in age. Mm-hmm. That's funny.
Yeah, no doubt, man. So, getting into the outdoors, you said 16, what you said a friend kind of got you into it?
Yeah. So we grew up really close together. We played sports all the time against and with each other. And one day he was like, "Hey man, we don't have a baseball tournament this weekend. Would you want to go deer hunt with me?" I was like, "Yeah, I've never done it. I'm not opposed to it." Well, I wasn't really informed on everything that you needed to go deer hunting, and his grandpa gave me some clothes to wear and whatnot. And so, we kind of go out there, we're sitting in this blind, and I'm just like, "So what do we do now?" And he goes, "We wait." And I'm like, "This isn't for me. I need something where I'm moving, And he's like, "Well, we can go duck hunting." And then Dad just started it all.
It's funny though how many times you hear that story though, man. Just people that just deer hunting wasn't their thing, and then they discovered duck hunting, and it's game over from there.
Yeah, dude, it's a crack addiction. It really
is.
For sure.
We always joke though, and I'm sure you've heard us say this, Devin, but we always joke that because we didn't duck hunt at first, and I grew up a deer hunter because my dad was. It made us so patient in the beginning. So
bow hunter, yeah.
Those days when we would it was terrible. Even now, and you sit out there all day to shoot one duck or whatever on public land, whatever it is. It's just that just made the whole morning, especially in the beginning. And I think that just deer hunting patience made us so patient with waterfowl hunting.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But it's so much more of a engaged sport, at least socially. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
than
for the
somebody
most part.
sticking you out in a deer stand and just freezing your ass off. You know, and you're just like, what in the hell am I doing out here?
Yeah,
You know?
I was sitting there and I'm just like, so do we like call at them or something? And I didn't know what to expect. You know, I was going in blind. I mean, granted, I've always loved the outdoors, fishing and everything, but that was kind of weird. I mean, I'd go deer hunting again, you know, but now that I kind of have more insight on that side, I would, but I don't know. Chasing birds to me is just so much fun.
Yeah, no, there really isn't, anything that beats it. And I mean, from what I understand about Texas, I mean, I know you guys had a tough season this year, just from talking to you on social media, and you can go into a little bit of that if you want. But I mean, in general, like, you get some pretty cool mixed bags out your way, don't you?
Oh yeah, I mean, we get a pretty good variety for the most part, I would say. I know this year we ventured up to Oklahoma once for the end of the season, and I shot my first goldeneye, which that was phenomenal.
Which, like, Oklahoma, that's not really something they shoot all the time, is it? Or
it depends on the area. So one of my good friends, he owns Foulmouth Outdoors and Foulmouth Films. So he hit me up and he's like, man, you should come up, you know, we'll spend the weekend. I know that both of our seasons haven't been the greatest. And I was like, dude, I'm down at this point. I just want to have fun, try to shoot some birds, get into an area I've never been.
no doubt.
And we went up to this public land area, and I mean, it's like in the northern part of Oklahoma, and I didn't know what to expect, but he told me they shoot a lot of diver ducks. And so I was kind of like, what divers? And he goes, golden eyes. I said, I'm in. I don't care if we shoot one, I'm in. That's such a cool bird to like just to see in general.
Yeah, dude. No, for real. I was joking around about the fact that if waterfowl hunting was a business plan for a business, like you would, there's nobody would do it, right? Because I mean, we put so much time and energy and money into these stupid ass birds.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we just do. You know, they're just, I don't know, man. They flip me out. Like, really? What's going on, guys? If you're planning a spring break visit to the Florida Panhandle, you know, down there by the Gulf of America, then make sure you book a charter with Williamson Outfitters. From March to May, Williamson Outfitters offers amazing inshore fishing, awesome flounder gigging, epic hog hunting with dogs. They also have an incredible hunting lodge in East Point, Florida that's available. Spots fill up fast, so book today. Call or text 850-251-8650 or visit floridaducks.com. Mention you heard about them on this podcast and get 10% off.
Yeah, it never ceases to amaze me with duck hunting because you never know at that point.
Yeah.
No.
It's so spontaneous, and I love it.
Yeah, you don't know what's going to come around the corner. You could have your trail camera pictures up for a week, and you're like, oh, yeah, man, there's this eucalyptic freaking mallard hen that's been hanging around, and good luck, all right? Because it's not necessarily going to be there tomorrow. You know what I mean? And it's just, that's the thing. They're just so hard to pattern.
Well, and like, you know, this year, Devin, you know, we went down to the Florida Panhandle to hunt diver ducks, and you know what to expect there, and you shoot your diver ducks or whatever. But it was good hunting, but it wasn't like everybody shot multiple like mounters or anything like that. So it's not like I had the opportunity to get like a mounter redhead or anything like that. So,
yeah.
Which, you know, that was like secondary to me filming. Like I would have liked to do that, but whatever, you know, it's hunting. I got a lot of years left to hunt.
We saw lots of birds.
Lots of birds. Yeah. And
I mean,
a lot of good ones got shot. It's just, you know, it's one of those things. It's like in an ideal situation, you'd love it to be like everybody shoots their limit and then the camera guy shoots one. You know?
Yeah.
Right.
But we went to Arkansas. We're out there hunting with Kade at the end of the year, and you may have seen me post a picture with this redhead. But
I did.
Yeah.
I was showing my buddy that video earlier today because him and we took off because of the rain today, and we went fishing. And he's like, "So you're doing a podcast today?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Look, watch this video." And he wants to get into duck hunting, and I'm like, "These guys, like they're great to listen to for their podcast alone, just because they get so much information out. But like they're like me, like they just go out and just do it. That's what you got to do.
Yeah,
no doubt, man.
It really is, and we just want to show everybody that this is the reality of what we're going through.
And back to the whole thing about the not knowing what you're going to expect or whatever. That day, like typically out there, you're just shooting puddle ducks all the time. I mean, that's almost all you shoot is puddle ducks. Like we were out there 2 weeks before then, hunted the same pit. It was all puddle ducks.
Yeah.
And went out there that weekend or whatever. And to kind of wrap up, it took us all day, but it was like a 7 or 8 man limit. It was stupid, but it took all day to do. It wasn't like, it happened in 30 minutes or anything like that. But once I finally got to shoot.
Well, it could have, but, there was some less than stuff shooting.
That was a different day. That was the day before.
Listen, I remember a lot of people that don't shoot good, not counting me.
But
I'm just kidding.
Long story
I sucked.
Long story short, though, it's like who expects a group of redheads to come in when all these puddle ducks are being killed, and then it's
especially in a rice field.
Yeah,
and it's a stud at that, and you're like, I went to Florida to like target these, and then out here in the middle of nowhere, Arkansas, I shoot one.
Well, and what gets crazier is a few weeks later on the veteran hunt, we're on the same field.
Yeah.
And it's way more flood. Like literally, if there would have been a quarter to half an inch of rain, we weren't getting there.
It might as well have been a small lake.
No, it was. It was just the Cache River had flooded the hell out.
Yeah.
And
decoys were barely staying. It's like 4 foot deep.
Yeah, no. And a lot of those areas is deeper than that, you know, but we go out there on the veteran hunt and just smoking ringnecks. Like it's like, dude, stud ringnecks. Every single drake we shot was like somebody from the South goes, dude, look at the freaking mohawk on that thing. Dude, I mean, just stud drakes.
I would have paid to shoot one this year.
Dude,
man.
And then,
I would have paid for a blackjack.
Like I remember saying to Tristan, I go, for the first time in my life, seeing these drakes, and it was the end of the season, right? So they're in their prettiest plumage, that in the snow, and shit, it was
just raining
and stuff. But they were so pretty, dude. Like I've always looked at a blackjack, ringneck, whatever you want to call it, and go, dude, why don't they call them puffy head? Why don't they call them white bill, white lip, or something? Whatever, right?
Ring bills, what they should call
ring
them.
bill, whatever. But dude, the that red hue around those necks. I mean, we were talking to some people, and they're like, which ones do you mount? I said, I'd mount all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, just shot some studs. But, Tristan, why don't you say what you found on the footage?
Well, so, back to the same thing, like earlier in the season, like when we were hunting out there with Kade, it was a puddle duck shoot, and it was like the vets shot like 30 ringnecks, like one spoony, one ruddy duck, and I don't know, maybe a couple, like a pintail, a couple other things.
Yeah.
But it was just crazy how many divers just moved into that area, which makes sense with the water depth and all that. But I was going back over the footage, and it was honestly crazy how many ducks were in the area, because you know how it is, like the week after season goes out and the veteran hunt, like they're not being pressured. Like, so it was really just kind of stupid. And I saw these big ducks roll through when I was like, filming and stuff, and I just thought, oh, they're probably mallards or whatever. And I looked on the camera afterwards, and I'm like, holy shit, that was like 10 canvasbacks. and I'm like, dude, because they're just, I saw like in the video, like you can just clear as day see their like the profile of their head, even though it's far out, and the distinctive white of the, like, the drake's backs. And I'm like, damn, if somebody would have got a canvasback, that would have been cool.
Well, now, what I specifically remember about that is that, I was doing the calling for the vets and everything for the most part, and we were just rocking so many, like literally we didn't have to try. That we were rocking.
It was every 5 minutes.
Every 5 minutes.
A ring neck or two would just roll in.
Or 10 or 15, or whatever. And, dude, and then I'm like, all right, guys, hold your seats here a little bit. We got to start working some big ducks in here. And everybody wants to go to Arkansas shoot a mallard, right? Well, dude, I'm seeing some big ducks up there, and I remember just freaking, I'm hitting them and everything. And guys, if you're listening to this podcast and you're in that blind, we've all done it. But I said, hold up. I said, these are big ducks. And about that time, freaking a bunch of ringnecks just lit the spread. And these guys were just like, hell no, it's freezing out here. We're getting the hell out of here and shooting these ducks. And it just boom, 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 boom. And I know that's when those canvasbacks were working. I know for a fact.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
For
but
sure.
my calling would not have made a difference whether those canvasbacks came in or not. I mean, let's face it.
You're on crack because they were never working, but
okay. They must have been blue wing teal.
No, they.
Oh, that's funny that you bring that up. So they opened this new lake up right out just like 20 minutes from my house.
They opened a new lake, you said?
Yeah, it's like a soil conservation lake essentially, but it's supposed to feed water to like Dallas and all that. And so they opened it to the public last year around this time. Well, me and my buddies went out to go scout it. Come hunting season, we're out there, whatever. We shot a wood duck drake. That was it. Well, there was a pair of mallards that came in, and I'm focused on this one small duck. I didn't know what it was at first. Well, it was a blue wing drake. Came in with this pair of mallards, and he sits down on the water, and my buddies are sitting over there and like, hey, don't shoot. And I was like, you got me 10 shades of sideways if you think I'm not about to shoot this blue wing. And they're like, wait, these mallards are working. And I'm like, you better put those mallards on the water or get them close.
Yeah.
This blue wing's about to fight and he's about to die.
Yep.
And sure enough, he gets up, and I was like, screw y'all. And I shoot this blue wing, and I ended up shooting him at 25 yards with BB because that's all I had in my gun. But I mean, hey, I finally got to say I shot a blue wing, and they ended up getting that mallard too. But like, that's something we don't see our blue wings all that much. I mean, we get them teal, but
because you guys are
season.
You're not coastal, right? You're more like northeast Texas, right?
Yeah, I'm up on the Red River.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I was going to say, because I was like, dude, wait a minute. Like, he cannot be from South Texas, because South Texas guys just like, they eat blue wing teal.
Crap out of them.
Yeah, they eat them for lunch. I mean, they really smoke them good down there.
You ever?
It's weird.
You ever go down on the coast and do any duck hunting, or you just kind of stick up by your way?
I'm normally just up here. I've always wanted to go down there, but trying to get insight on it's pretty hard.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could book a guide, but I'd rather just go and do it myself. I'm not opposed to paying somebody. If they were saying that there's a big chance of cinnamons, then I'd go down there for sure.
Oh, hell yes.
Yeah, no doubt. And that happens from time to time, right? Like, I mean, it's not uncommon.
I think it's Southwest Texas, I think.
It's uncommon, but it's not like, it's every season people do it, right?
Yeah. They'll do like a big cast and blast down there going more towards Mexico, and you'll see them where they're catching massive reds and then just a strap full of cinnamons or a bunch of divers. And
Oh, redheads? Yeah, no.
He was saying cinnamons.
Yeah, but you were saying reds and cinnamons, right?
Divers.
Yeah, they'll get a lot of diver ducks down there. I mean, we get a bunch here too. It's just not like your cool diver ducks, I would say. I mean, we shoot a lot of redheads and canvasbacks, but not as plumed out until after season. If you're one of those people, which I am not, but you'll see them every once in a while, but it's not the biggest population for us like it is down there. I guess because all the flyways kind of meet and go down towards Argentina, so that's where they all end up going, is in the Gulf of America, and they just destroy them down there.
Yeah, Gulf of America.
Yeah, I like how you dropped that.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
I have to catch myself with it still.
Now, one of the things, and correct me if I'm wrong, and because I feel like during duck season, this was a little bit of a, I don't know, I feel like it flew below the average duck hunter's radar that Northeast Texas had some good water this year.
I don't know where you heard that, because
no, that's a joke. That's a joke.
Struggle.
It's been a continued problem for years, right?
Oh yeah, so the past 4
like droughts and shit.
Yeah, I would say the past 4 years has been the roughest. 2021 wasn't too bad. I mean, it was still dry, but we got a little bit of rain towards the split or the after our split. But for the most part, I mean, birds they're just moving south quick on us because they're trying to find water. I mean, the big lakes that you can hunt, it's packed. But I mean, they're there if you can get there early enough.
Right on.
But even then, I mean, a lot of the lakes were just going so low that the boat ramps were almost impossible to launch on.
Oh my God. Dude, yeah, that's crazy. I mean, what do you guys typically shoot out there? Like, what's the typical bag for you guys?
The most, I'll do you one better. I'll give you like our common and then like our most outrageous that we've had. Our common's mainly gadwall and green wings, which, don't get me wrong, I love some gadwall. I'm tired of shooting green wing teal.
Oh,
I just won't pull the trigger on them.
Gadwall always do it really good, dude. They do it good.
Like those and spoonies are our biggest, slow day. They're going to come in eventually and they're just going to do what you want, and boom, you got a bird. And I will never complain about them ever.
Yeah.
Craziest is wood ducks right now. I mean, we shot, I think, a total of 80 wood ducks between me and my 4 buddies that hunted every weekend.
Wow. It's in the teens that morning, and maybe you're chasing ducks or geese. But now it's September and it's 85 degrees and you're hunting early teal or geese. As a waterfowler, you need dependable weather protection that will not break the bank. Founded in 1996, Frog Togs is not only the leader in breathable wader technology, but a company you can depend on to keep you warm and dry, head to toe, no matter your hunting environment. Stay bone dry by using discount code ZD315 for 15% off not only your first purchase, like most discount codes, but how about every single purchase you make from now until December 31st, 2024?
And that is unheard of for us.
Yeah, like if you saw a picture of the state of Texas with a wood duck on it, everybody would be like, that's cute.
Huh?
That's cute.
Because everybody talks about like Alabama and Mississippi on wood ducks, and I'm like, y'all can have that. I'm proud that I shot some wood ducks in Texas.
Yeah,
that's just a weird thing for us.
So what does the flip side look like? So like you talking about like the outrageous bag or whatever.
The outrageous bag that we had was a bluebill, of 2 mana canvasbacks, 2 mana redheads, 1 stud pintail that had like an 8-inch sprig on him, a very plumed out spoonie, and I think it was like 2 mallards.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's a good day.
And we get mallards, but not like what you would expect. I mean, these things are like tiny mallards. You go over where y'all are at with Kade. I mean, those things look huge.
They are, dude. They are so big.
Do you think a lot of the ones that you guys shoot there are just local birds?
I think so, for the most part. A lot of the geese that we get into are locals, and I mean, hunting geese out here is almost impossible. You got to go west for those, because where I'm at, it's interesting to get access for private land because a lot of it's outfitters out here.
Now you guys can crane hunt, right?
Not where I'm at.
Not where you're at. Okay.
I'm east of 35, so everything west of 35 and north of, I'm trying to think, or west of 35 and south of Austin is like prime sandhill. Unless you're in Corpus Christi, then you can't hunt those there.
Well, it sounds like you need to move.
I thought about it. I'm not gonna lie. Out west, like we're split with the north, a south, and the High Plains mallard is our 3 zones, and that High Plains mallard puts a hurting on some geese, not just Canada's. I mean, specks, snows, sandhills are in the mix, cinnamons are out there like crazy. It's weird that like Texas is so divided in 3 different areas, and that you could get an amazing, snow speck, whatever, out in the High Plains, and then you come over where I'm at and you're shooting canvasbacks, redheads, all your typical divers, and then some, mallards, whatever. And you go south and it's nothing but divers.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's one thing that makes Texas such an incredible state, right? Is the diversity,
for sure.
I think so many of us outdoorsmen and hunters have this sagebrush look at what Texas looks like because of watching whitetail deer hunts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have this image of what you think it looks like. And man, one of the coolest shows that I have seen lately about Texas it's called In the Heart, and it's with what's his name?
McConaughey.
Yeah, Matthew McConaughey is the narrator of it, and he lives in the state of Texas, and he goes through like just the diversification and animals that live in the state of Texas, and it really is such a diverse state. I mean, you guys really have it all. You have everything from cropland to pasture to desert to mountains to, you have it all.
Well, our mountain's more plateaus, but I'll take the compliment where I can get it.
No, but just recently, I remember calling Tristan one night when I watched that, and I was like, dude, did you know that the state of Texas has like one of the most endangered species of mammals in the world? He's like, what? And I go, there's a freaking ocelot.
I didn't even know we had those here.
Yes. So down
south. I have to watch that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, dude. And it's also on the new series that Tom Hanks is narrating called The Americas.
Mm-hmm.
They got film footage of a mom and two cubs on that. And I think they said it's like one of the first times it's ever been recorded to have cubs ever. That they had these babies on there. But it's this certain type of brush that Texas holds, and it's like this little peninsula island thing that that habitat is the only reason why they're here. And that I forgot what they called it. Some kind of brush. I don't remember what it was. It kind of looked like a buck brush or something to me. But Tom Hanks was just saying, like how important that is to this animal. And it's about twice the size of a house cat. It looks like a house cat in so many ways compared to, say, like a bobcat or a cougar. You know what I mean? Right. But when I think ocelot, bro, I'm thinking like jungle. Look like South America, Africa, something like that, But
like a tropical area.
Yeah, and this son of a gun is native to there. That's what blows my mind.
They're beautiful.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. I had no idea about that.
Yeah, dude, look it up. It's something sick. I mean, like I've rewinded and watched it like 100 times. I'm just like, dude, this is so. Look at that freaking thing. I'll say
what's really cool is like, so we're not super close, but we're not too far as well from Colorado and the Rockies. Well, apparently in our Panhandle, we're getting a lot of elk migrating.
No kidding.
What?
Yeah.
Really? That's
one of my
cool.
friends lives up in I always say this name wrong. They say it weird. I just call it Dumas because that's how it's spelled. But he lives up there by the Canadian River, and he's like, dude, we've got elk out here. And I said, are you sure it's not a pronghorn? And he goes, no, it's an elk. Like, look. And it's weird. Wow. I don't know.
How crazy is that?
Just a big, Texas is so giant, and it's just, what a cool environment, I guess, overall.
Oh, for sure.
For sure. Yeah, it is kind of nuts, too, because Texas, like, just from a size standpoint, is so insane. Like, you'll see that thing on social media every once in a while, like how many European countries can fit inside of Texas. But
well, and guess what?
Like 16.
Would country music ever be as strong without Texas? Hell no. Let's go.
We hold 3 of the kings, for sure.
Yep, for sure.
Hey, Andy got that. Andy got Cody Johnson out of there.
Oh, yeah.
Love Cody Johnson, dude. I got put on to Cody Johnson like probably in like 2015 before he signed with a label, and God, love that guy.
I'm trying to think. I went and saw him in concert up at Choctaw in Oklahoma, and it was like 2016, right after he signed, and it was one of my favorite concerts I've been to for sure. He
puts on a hell of a show.
He's a great guy. So just like his speeches that he does in his concerts too. He's all around.
Yeah, no doubt. Have you ever heard of Mike Ryan?
Yeah. He played a free concert not too far from me.
So, dude, I like for years. That's another guy that like I've loved, and I always thought like he's gonna make it like his songs are awesome, and I'm like he's gonna get like really big time at some point. And it still blows my mind that he hasn't made it bigger than what he was. But I finally got to see him. He came to Georgia last year, and we saw him. But and only like a 300-person venue, and I'm like, this guy is so good. Like you have no idea. These people that are listening to him, I'm like, this guy's awesome.
Oh yeah, I mean, country music in Texas like go hand in hand. You've got like the red dirt scene is insane. I'll have to send you my playlist after this and introduce you to some like more unknown artists. It'll blow your mind.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, dude, you definitely have Tristan hooked on that one. He's going to be like sending you follow-up emails and be like, dude, where's that list?
Yeah.
No, but no, it is a really cool state, man, and very diverse. So do you get out and hunt anything else out there? Or I know you say you like to fish a lot and stuff, and we all know there's some big ass bass in Texas.
Oh yeah. The only other thing that I've really kind of got into hunting wise is pigs for sure. I mean,
yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about that. Because all right, yeah, because Tristan, do you want coffee that doesn't suck? Get the Duck. Dirty Duck coffee is made specifically for the waterfowl enthusiast. Enjoy flavors like Morning Wood, Dark Dynasty, Cinnamon Teal Snickerdoodle, and First Flight to unlock the flavor that you'll enjoy in the blind for years to come. Our friends at Dirty Duck Coffee Company are now offering all Zero Duck 30 followers a 15% discount when you use code ZeroDuck15 on your next order. Kind of gave me some insight on this, so you guys take it away on that.
So I texted Tristan before I jumped on the call with y'all, and I was like, dude, I just shot 2 pigs off my front porch. But what's funny is like a month ago, I was in my room and I forgot what I was doing. I think I was playing like Fortnite or something. And my dad comes in, he's like, hey, there's pigs. And I'll go, huh? And he goes, there's pigs in the front yard. And I'm like, all right, give me a second. So I'm on the game with my buddy, and I keep my headset on, and he can hear everything I'm saying, and I just step out on my front porch with my 270, just fold this freaking hole. And he goes, through a mic and a 270 just going off, it's not as loud as you would expect. And I was like, I didn't hear a thing. And so, fast forward to earlier today, I came home, whatever, and I was going up on the porch. Well, here they come from the pasture right across from me, and they go right in my front yard, and they've been rutting it like crazy for the past 3 days, and I've been trying to time them. And so I sprint in the house, barely, throw my stuff down. I grab my 270, and I'm like, all right, here we go. And so I shot, racked, got another one loaded, hit that second pig. And as soon as I went to get another one, this car came around the corner. I was like, oh, no, dude, I could have folded another one. And then the guy rolled his window down and he goes, you got 2. And I was like, hell yeah, man. Somebody saw it. They're acknowledging it.
That's hilarious, dude.
Oh, man.
What have you ever ate one of them pigs? Because I shot one time, and I was really surprised, honestly, how I took the whole ham and smoked it, and it was actually...
Dude, your sister to this day, as picky as she is, she still swears. She's like, dude, that's the only time I've eaten pig, and I liked it.
Yeah, I swear it was really good.
Outside of a piece of bacon,
So, wild hog bacon and sausage is phenomenal. I just refuse to, eat the boar. I'll eat a sow up to about 120. That's kind of the cutoff. That's what
I've always heard.
Well, and that's like with any mammal, really. The longer it's sitting,
I think it's different with them, though.
I know,
but with pigs, are kind of different.
Well, but still, no. I just listening to who was it? Green Tree with Rogan. I went back and started listening to each one of these folks I really like, from their beginning, podcasts with Rogan. And I started with Green Tree, and Green Tree's like, look, dude, he's like, when an animal gets older and, stronger and all that, he was talking about the water buffalo or something like that. He's like, nah, you're not eating that. I don't remember if he said he's not eating it, but it's like the older the meat gets, the tougher and harder. And I think he mentioned that he was chewing on it. Like in his story, it was like a half an hour. He was talking about, he goes, I started chewing on this meat and then I did this and I came back and I was still chewing on the meat. You know, they ate it, but it was just like super tough.
Well, I could get that with like a 2,000-pound water buffalo maybe, but like.
But is that the gig with a big pig?
Well, no, they get like weird tasting, right?
So like with boars, I mean, I don't know how true this is. I'm not, you know, a biologist or whatever that study animals. From everything that I've heard, the boars store their pee in their like body fat and stuff, and they'll like sweat it. That's why they smell so bad.
Huh.
And I don't know how true that is. Nobody, you know, take that to heart and quote me on it. Right. I've just known that from a small age. I don't know how true that is. But like sows and stuff, the bigger they get, it's more fatty. And for me, like even with my steaks, like I cut a little bit of the fat off if there's a lot, because I don't like it because it's so chewy. But with pigs, I mean, that's like the biggest thing for sure for us. I mean, there's chances out here that you could see like a 300-pound pig. And
oh my gosh,
what a giant!
Like I'll send some pictures over to you. Like me and some of my buddies have stabbed like 200-pound sows and boars. Like it's nothing with dogs. I mean, it's crazy to see how big they can get. And I mean, you take one and there's like 40 more that's already going.
Yeah,
have you guys ever done?
It's like you can never take enough of them out of the population.
No.
Definitely
have you guys ever
not.
done some Tim Wells shit with a spear or anything, dude?
No, I want to so bad,
dude. I watch him do it. Like he puts the GoPro, I think, on the spear. You know, and throws
I know what video you're talking about. That dude's insane with those spears. Like I want to go buy one. In the backyard, I've got probably like 12 acres of like timber that they run through. I found a tree that I could put just a small platform.
Yeah.
I will sit there all day just to drop on a pig. I would love that. That would be so much fun.
What would even be better is if you were like a real American badass, right? And you got the spear and you just imagine this. You jump off the front of the platform and just stab that son of a bitch. All in one motion. Just jump on him.
Oh, that's what I will do. That I will try it. I will dedicate a whole weekend to trying this. I mean, I've thought about it for years.
Yeah, that's some primal shit. That's some caveman shit.
Oh, for sure.
No, it's funny stuff, man. What do you got anything planned on the books already for this next year for hunting season, or are you doing any shows this summer or anything like that?
So I'm going to go to Delta in OKC this year.
Nice.
We went last year, which it was so much fun in Baton Rouge.
Oh, I bet, dude, it had to have been rowdy afterwards.
Oh yeah. Like, we linked up with Washed Up Waterfowl, got to hang out with them. That was a good time. Hung out with Bo Brooks, which that dude's a trip. I could sit there and talk hunting with him for hours.
Dude, that's the cool thing about it. It's like you see all these you see anybody who's like anything in the waterfowl industry, you're gonna see at that show and out at the bars. You know, it's so cool.
Yeah, like we ran into Colton Kerr and a few other guys, and you know, we were sitting there talking with them, and then next thing you know, we see them at the show the next day, and they're like, "Oh, what's up, man?" You know, and then we're talking to them. And it's just a good time. I love going to those shows for sure. It's
getting major FOMO
fun
right now, by the way. Well, I mean,
fly out. Let's go.
I know, man, but it's like shit. That's a freaking. You know, you talk about so fly out and then get in a hotel. I mean, and then if you don't spend $1 at the thing, I mean, you're probably $1,000 in just on flight and hotel. You know. And then it's like
I will tell you now, if you manage to go to one of these
excuses to me,
not spend some money,
then you do it, asshole.
Nope.
Look, I'll do y'all one better. I'll buy the hotel room. Y'all just gotta get out.
Yeah. Oh man. But maybe, you know, you might be onto something. I wonder if there's any way I can convince my wife to let me fly out there. Then maybe Airbnb or something like that might be the move. Because honestly, you can get like I mean, I'm sure you've done it with your buddies. Like the Airbnbs you can get for like so reasonably cheap per night when everybody pitches in is kind of crazy.
It is. It is.
Yeah, it's like what I did when I went to Missouri with John and Mitch from our fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that was a blast.
Oh, I didn't realize you went out there and hunted with them.
Yeah, because we planned it out to where it was going to be kind of the ending of their season and, you know, winding down on the South Zone. And so where we were hunting, we weren't far from Cade's place.
Yeah.
We're probably like 30 minutes.
Is that when you were out snow?
You some bitch. You were 30 minutes away from us and didn't come see us?
Well, I didn't. I wasn't there.
I'm just fucking with you, dude.
That's the biggest thing. I wasn't there when y'all did everything else.
No, I'm just messing.
Is that where you were at when you were snow goose hunting?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah.
That was a fun too. I think we paid like $100 between 4 of us for that Airbnb for 4 nights.
Oh, that's not bad, dude. Yeah, you could normally find something like, you know, let's say it's 200 a night and you got 4 guys or whatever, and I mean, you can always make something like that work. It's
What was it when we got that little cottage down there when we went to Williamson Outfitters? I think I said it was $285 for the weekend, or it was something silly where it cost us less than $100 each for like 3 nights.
I mean, it's crazy.
And that's all you need, right? It's just a place to sleep, a place to heat your food up, make your coffee, go to the bathroom, take a shower. That's all we need. You know.
Oh, yeah. And if I can put my cornhole boards down, perfect.
Dude, I'll never forget this one we stayed at, and we were hunting with these guys, and like, I guess it'd be like kind of like central northwest kind of part of Florida. I don't know, kind of in the middle of Florida, honestly. And we were going out there to hunt with them for the first time, and just same thing, talking on social media, no different than like you going hunting with Mitch and John, like you said. But just, you know, we made it work finally to go hunt with them in Florida, and we got this Airbnb, dude, that was like this little like house shack deal.
It was a tiny home.
It was a tiny home on somebody's like ranch.
Yeah.
In the middle of Florida.
Like beautiful ranch. It was pretty.
And I want to say it was like $60 a night or $70 a night. And
dope.
It literally was like there was one bed in the back and like a half wall that separated, and then like a couch in the front that turned into a bed, and then like a mini kitchen and a bathroom, and it was like perfect.
Yeah.
It had a little front porch that was covered.
Well, and then they're like, oh yeah, and you can go over to our yard and hang out over here, use our fire pit and everything else. But it was literally like on a little horsey little cattle little farm thing. It was awesome, dude. But what's funny about that is when I was looking at trying to book them, I'm trying to find something as cheap as I can, and I found this. It was just down the road from there. It was a you remember those old what they call them, the wind something trailers that have like, they're all like,
the Winnebagos.
No, not Winnebagos, but they're all that like metal. They're just plain metal looking trailers. You know what I'm talking about, from like the 70s or 80s, or they're called what the hell are they called, man? Airstreams, I think, is what they're called. And anyway,
does it kind of look like a giant pill?
Like a what?
Like a giant pill.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, an Airstream.
So somebody had taken one of these and set it on, blocks or whatever, put a little walkway up to it, and it was all like you could tell that they made this as like a little getaway honeymoon, little suite. Like, this is for lovebirds. And I'm texting it to Drew, and I'm like, are your feelings going to be hurt? If we stay in the lovebird suite, And it was the same thing. It was like out in the middle of a farm and everything else. I'm like, dude, what in the hell? This is the weirdest shit ever. But key to your point, Tristan, it's just Airbnbs are so great. If you just take the time and do a little bit of research, you can find some like really cool, like I like that when we go places that we kind of explore the area a little bit and just try to find something that's not like in the middle of the city, but something that, unique like that, where you can just walk out and you're just like, dude, I'm out here in the country. It's freaking pretty cool.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's my specialty, because like we plan a lot of trips out of state. Like we went to New Mexico, not this season, but last season for their opener. for ducks. By the way, sleeper state on.
By the way, first
Really?
time anybody in the history of the One Hell of a Life Outdoor podcast has ever said anything about going to New Mexico on opening day.
Yeah, I'll definitely
Period.
vouch
Dude,
for that.
we put birding on birds out there.
Yes.
Granted, they weren't plumed. We shot a limit of pintails in 5 minutes between
Wow.
6.
God.
And I was sitting there and I looked. I'm like, guys, these are pintails. And my buddy's like, no, these are gadwall. And I said, look at the bill. Those are pintails. Do not shoot another one of these birds for the love of God.
Okay, so real quick, I want to hear more about New Mexico, but one thing I will say on that topic, dude. So I've seen this more than one time, because the first time I shot a pintail, I thought it was a hen, and it was right at the beginning of the season, and I thought it was a gadwall. But
And gadwall. Yeah.
yeah, but to your point, no, a Drake gadwall, I think, is what I thought it was.
Yeah.
But whatever it is, you can see why people get that mixed up. And I had somebody message me on Facebook, like, hey man, do you think this is a gadwall? And I'm like, dude, I literally did this exact same thing once when I was first starting hunting. But to your point, it's funny like how similar they are, but once you like have seen enough of them, you're like, oh yeah, no, that's definitely a pintail. But to a new hunter, there's like those similarities that you're like, oh my God, like.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing that's a little bit, I don't know if you guys deal with this over there. You probably don't, but on the East Coast, it's a rarity for somebody to shoot a bull pintail with a sprig.
Really?
Yeah, dude. They don't have, at least I'll speak from Florida. Now, anybody listening to this, if you're from Georgia all the way up, I'm sure you're like, dude, we got sprigs. Let me tell you something. I've seen a lot of beautiful looking Drake pintail shot with no sprig. Like the majority of the pictures I've seen, they have no sprig. Zero.
Like not even just like a little half-inch
Nothing.
sprig?
Nothing.
Really?
Nothing,
That's
dude. Yeah, dude. It's wild. I guess it's genetics or whatever it is. But and of course, if you're hunting the Atlantic coast, pintail's not like one of your top, I would say, 5 birds that you're seeing.
Yeah. Out there, I would expect like scoters and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in Florida, dude, you're shooting pintails in brackish water, and sometimes you're shooting them along mangroves, that kind of stuff. Coastal. I mean, it's weird, because we all have this envision, like we all think that a pintail only eats rice. I mean, you see that butt up in the air in the rice field, and you're like, yep, that's all pintails eat is rice, but it's so weird. I was telling Tristan about the, Tristan just had to run to the bathroom real quick, but I was telling him about how weird it is with the Atlantic flyway pintails, like no sprigs. And I said, I'm not trying to say that they don't. I'm just saying that I have not seen one. And I've seen some beautiful ones with no sprig.
It's just like, for whatever reason, the, I don't know what it is, if just
genetics, something.
Proportionately, that like stretch of pintails or whatever that come down the Atlantic flyway, at least that make it to Florida. I don't know if it's an immature bird thing or what, but you don't see a lot of good looking ones. And then that's not like super uncommon with other species too, like shovelers. Like, I mean, you hardly ever see anybody kill like a beautiful shoveler in Florida for some reason, but I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah.
I feel like they move a lot quicker over there. Would be why. I don't know. That's actually, that piques my interest a lot on that. Yeah. Especially with the pintail not having a sprig. That's just, I mean, for you to not see one like that is kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, like,
there's not an abundance, but
yeah, it's just not, it's so disproportionate compared to the other states for some reason. I mean, like when you're in Arkansas, like, and I don't know how it is in Texas, but in Arkansas, like, I mean, you don't really kill like an ugly pintail. I mean, you might kill one with like a short sprig, but I don't know that I've seen an ugly Drake killed. No. I mean, they're all
even if it has a short sprig, it still looks pretty.
Yeah, they're all plumed and look good, but I mean, you'll see them like in Florida where it'll be, they're kind of,
they look dirty.
Yeah, they're not.
They kind of like the same thing with the spoonies. They just look a little dirty.
Not to say studs aren't killed, but it's just not. It's disproportionate.
Yeah, their plumage is not like as striking.
Yeah,
is I guess the best way to look at it. But on the flip side of that, guess what? You want the most striking blue-winged teal outside of South Texas? Go to Florida late season. that's when you're going to find your fully studded out Drake blue-winged teal. You know,
I want you to know that I almost booked with Williamson Outfitters to go get a blue wing until I shot one this season. It was driving me up the wall that a lot of my buddies that I hunt with, you know, they've shot them and they're like, I can't believe you've never shot one. And I was about to pay. I was going to book the flight. Everything.
Well,
it was killing me.
Well, just so you know, they focus a lot on divers. So,
yeah.
They do kill. I think it's crazy. They keep a running toll every year how many, different species, and I think it's always in the 20s.
I want to say 30s. I mean, it's more than when Chris tells us, we're always like, wow, whatever that number is.
But no, there is for sure people in Florida that, for example, Travis Thompson got an outfit in Clewiston, Florida that, I forget. Duck ranching is what he's calling it.
Yeah, dude. You want to own a blue-winged teal? Talk to him.
Yeah, they got. You start getting down into the southeastern part of the state. I mean, that's the blue-winged teal spot.
It is,
even on the public land quota hunts. Do you have it turns into most of what you shoot when we have pulled these hunts is teal and ringnecks, and then you might get surprised. Yeah, blue-winged teal and ringnecks, and then you might get surprised with a random green wing. You might get a random mottled duck, something like that. But the two main ones are definitely teal and blue wings and ringnecks.
Absolutely, no, it's a great place to go.
Another one we don't see.
Yeah, no, look up Travis Thompson, because we are big lovers of what Travis does on the conservation side. He's a huge voice in the state of Florida when it comes to waterfowl habitat and conservation. But on the flip side of that, it's called duck ranching, and it's just cool, man. Every picture he shows, I'm like, oh, dude. People in that area are blue-winged teal purists.
I've heard that about Louisiana too. That them and wood ducks, wood ducks and blue wings. I don't know what it is out there on the rice fields in South Louisiana, but it's crazy.
Right. Now, and do you guys have you had any whistlers creeping into your territory, at least in the summer?
Yeah, actually, one of my friends called me one day and he was like, dude, there's 6 ducks on my pond. And I said, what are they? And he goes, I don't know. And so he puts his binoculars up and he goes, I think they're whistling ducks. And it's not something common that we see in my area. Farther, not so super far south, coastal wise, but central East Texas, they get them a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because they're starting to creep up into Arkansas. We just firsthand account have had buddies that have seen them hanging out all summer long in Arkansas. It's crazy how much it's almost in some areas. I'm like, do we need to have an early whistler season? Because a lot of the areas too, they it's weird because in the summer, you'll see them in South Coastal Georgia in teal season, but by the time big duck season moves in, I guess just the temperature, they don't like it, and they moved out of Florida.
Well, I guess. They've raised the brood there, and they're jetting out there. In my opinion, I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. It's like they do a mini migration,
Yeah.
Just a few 100 miles or whatever,
But yeah,
we heard in New Mexico, which was weird.
Oh yeah, go back into the New Mexico thing. So tell us about what that was.
So my image of New Mexico is
flat desert.
Yeah, and crevices and stone.
So I've been able to actually explore a lot of New Mexico before even going out there to hunt, because I'm kind of like most people. I didn't think that you could really hunt New Mexico besides for aoudad and elk, or not elk. Well, I guess in northern, but mule deer and stuff like that. Well, one of my buddies, the same guy with the whistling ducks on his pond out here, he worked out in the oil field out there, and we talked kind of joking about going out and hunting an oddball state for birds. Well, he calls me one day and he's like, dude, look at this. And it's on the Brazos River, which I'm comfortable saying that because that's a big river and you're not going to figure out where we were at. But
yeah,
it's a very, very crazy public land area out there. And it's loaded with birds. And so he goes, random New Mexico trip, seasons in 4 weeks. And I said, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to make a phone call. Let me figure out who I can get, and then we're going. So like Jackson and one of my other buddies, we drove out there and met up with him and some of his friends, and we hunted out there. And it was wild, you know. I mean, you see the mountains that are real rocky, but like there was the caverns in Carlsbad that we got to like see, which that was cool.
Yeah.
But the farther north you go, I mean, it's you know, beautiful. It's green cedar trees.
Huh.
And I mean, it's awesome. The more north you go, because you're getting closer to Colorado too. But it's a weird state, just all around.
You know, talking about sleeper states, you know, one that hits me is Idaho. Idaho, dude, did you know you can shoot 7 mallards in Idaho?
Really?
You can shoot. Do you know how many speckled belly geese you can shoot in Idaho per day?
I know, like 15.
15.
That's insane,
right, dude? That's like my dude. Like Tristan and I go back and forth on this a little bit when the speckled belly as far as spec goes, and so do a lot of my friends. And I get it. I mean, you're like, dude, I'm going all the way out there to shoot 2. You know, I mean, I get that. You know, but man, when specs do it, bro, that is one of my favorite hunts, honestly. And when I found out that you can shoot 15 of them, I'm like, I just don't understand how it could be. I mean, maybe it's a different flyway of specs than what we get in Arkansas, you know, in that area. And it probably is. I mean, honestly, these folks know what they're doing. They know how to judge these counts and all that stuff. But 7 mallards and 15 specs, sign me up, bro.
I know.
Sign me up. And we've got friends up there that have always been very grateful and it's just, man.
Not grateful, but
not great. I'm just saying, forthcoming with offering us the ability to go up there and hunt. And it's just, I guess we're just like everybody else, you know. It's just like, man, the farther you get, the more it costs and everything else. But that's definitely on my bucket list.
Yeah, you're talking like something stupid, like 24-hour drive, 30-hour drive for us to get out there.
It's up there.
Oh, yeah. We talked about going to Nebraska and the Dakotas to hunt, and then I started looking at the drive, and I was kind of like, I don't know if I want to do that.
It's
like
tough.
New Mexico, Oklahoma, Missouri, Arkansas, like I can handle being in a car for like 7 hours or something, but 15 to 20, dude, I'm 6'6", like that's miserable.
Yeah. Yeah, try being 53. It's even more miserable.
Well, dude, and then you know, you look at the flight thing. It's like it's doable, but it's like, you know, you got to pack your waders, you got to pack your gun, like, and it's just a pain in the ass to fly with all that stuff. I mean,
well, our experience has been with anybody associated with flying and waterfowl hunting is that some reason the airlines just go, you know what? We know you're taking this very important time off, and we're going to just take your gun and we're going to lose it.
Yeah.
For a couple days. You know, dude, like when that happened to Austin, your buddy, I was just like, from here on out, I'm driving wherever I'm going because, I mean, thank God we had, Kate had an extra gun for him and everything, but the stress, you know what I mean? Oh,
for sure. Like I would rather fly without my gun and go to a pawn shop and just buy like an old 870 and be like, hey man, thanks for a great time here. I want to give you this as a keepsake.
Right.
Oh, so nice, but like I don't need to, trust me, it's not going back with me. It's gonna stay.
Right.
That's right.
Well, and then the other thing that sucks about flying too is like, I mean, there's ways people do it, but the whole bringing back birds thing is tough, you know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't know if y'all listen to Midwestern Flyways. One of the main guys through them were talking about that, and he was going through TSA, and he had a bird in his bag, and he was going to get it mounted, and so TSA's like,
no,
you know, you have a duck in your bag, right? And he goes, yep. And the lady goes, well, we need to search it to make sure it's not a bomb. And he goes, well, I can assure you that that's not a bomb. And she goes, well, we just need to look at it. And he goes, please don't cut that bird up. I was going to get it mounted.
Yeah.
And luckily for him, like, he didn't have that happen. Like, they just kind of scanned over it to see if there's like resin or whatever. And they were like, have a nice day. And he was just sweating bullets trying to make sure they didn't harm that bird.
Well, and they're looking for bugs. They're looking for any invasive anything.
I don't know if TSA is doing all that, but
no, but they do that. Like, you can't take anything wild through the airport without them analyzing that. I've seen it all the time. They're looking at, like, all right, well, this person's bringing in a bag of almonds from this place, and they're looking for these certain bugs that's in it or whatever. I can't, honestly, that blows my mind. I can't imagine putting a duck in my bag and trying to get through TSA with it and getting through with it.
I don't know the official,
right.
like, I don't
now
know.
Shipping it's a different thing, but
I don't know the official rules on that from state to state, because
I don't either.
I know of people that we know that have frozen meat and put it in their bag and then flew it, and then by the time they get home, like, it's still like pretty well frozen.
Checked in luggage though.
Oh, checked in luggage.
Yes.
So, well, yeah,
that's a big difference. That's where I'm going with this. Is that, like, okay, well, I could put a duck in my golf bag, all right, and send it. And honestly, can you do that? I don't know. I mean, I don't know I honestly don't
know the legality of that.
I don't know that either. I know that there's a lot of restrictions over organic material.
Yeah.
And, just like when you drive into the state of Georgia, if you've got a moving truck, they're going to search you. And I remember Nan and Pawpaw, when they were moving down to Florida, they had some kind of, like, I don't remember if it was a lime tree plant or something like that. They confiscated it, and because they're concerned about the invasive bugs that are associated with that coming into Florida, which I totally respect.
What happened to us a time or two is when we had that lease in South Georgia, they made it where Florida you couldn't bring back deer that was you couldn't bring back
on the bone
or the
antlers,
the skull. I think it was
the skull. Yep.
Yeah. So before we brought the deer back, you had to debone it before you brought it back, which was like it's such a pain in the ass. But
it was. But I mean, everybody, they're trying to protect from the.
Yeah, you get it. I mean, it makes sense. CWD and all that.
Yeah, but no.
Sorry, we got off on a tangent there, Devin.
No, you're good. I was sitting there and I'm just going with it. I'm planning a trip to Alaska. I'm trying to get 43. I'm not going to do it, within like 4 years, but I want to go and try to get the hardest ones out of the way. Like, I want to get a Barrow's Golden Eye, the Harley Quinn, and the King Eider.
Yes,
dang,
the King Eider, bro.
I've had those 3 on the list for a while, and I finally found the guy that runs a guide up there, and it's looking pretty serious in the next year or two.
Dude, do you know, I mean, maybe you do, but for everybody listening, a King Eider, what makes them, outside of being beautiful, what they do, only they do it. And they're able in current to go, they dive, what is it, like? Oh my God, 20 something feet or whatever. And there's, I don't remember the mollusk or whatever they go after, but it's very specific. And they're the only, like, the way they're made and built, only that duck can do this. Like, that's what makes them some bitches so cool, in my opinion. Outside of being so beautiful, it's just like, dude, like, what a unique environment. Like, it's so, when I've seen it, it's like so intimidating, and it's just like, dude, you could die out there trying to get one of these King Eiders,
I watched some videos on people hunting out there, and it's insane terrain.
Yeah.
They say that Alaska can kill you in so many different ways, and I'm watching these videos of these waves crashing on this. I don't even know really what to call it, like an ice island. Not even like an. I mean, it's just
might be an iceberg.
Tide roll, and it's insane. And kind of to piggyback on what you were saying with the king eider, the common eider does the same thing over on the East Coast. They dive and eat the mussels and stuff.
Yeah.
They're such interesting birds to me. Like my biggest thing with waterfowl that I like the most is because they're unique in so many different ways between subspecies, and they're just interesting to watch and listen to. Like I could sit there and, take people with me hunting and I won't even pull a trigger. I just love watching the birds. I think they're beautiful, just doing what they do best.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Well, Devin, we've appreciated having you on, man, and we'll definitely have to do it again. But it's glad we finally were able to connect, and it sounds like you have an awesome waterfowl season lined up. And who knows? I mean, we're trying at some point to connect with you. I mean, it's just like you got a lot going on, we got a lot going on, and hopefully we can connect somewhere at some point. And maybe it'll be at freaking Delta this year. Who knows? But
well, we got phone numbers now, and you 30 minutes away from us, you better be texting us, bro.
I will. I promise. Because I go up to Missouri quite a bit. I'm actually taking a trip up there in 3 weeks to go try to shoot my first turkey. So.
Oh, good luck, dude.
Yeah.
That'll be a blast.
Well, and
keep in mind and pass it on to your buddies. This is one of the earliest that Kade's ever opened up his books.
And he's got a lot of really good select dates right now, and quite honestly, we've been friends with him for so long that we know just from the attrition, or not the attrition, what's the word I'm looking for, just from the past history, that we always see it every year, dude. People wait. And they wait and they wait and they wait. And I know it's common. I mean, dude, we all have money and you're just like trying to pull the trigger, and it's, I get all that, but dude, he's got some premier dates right now. And if you guys know anybody or anybody else listen to this podcast, man, you better get on it right now.
Yeah, I mean,
all you got to do is say the date, and I'll book it.
Yeah,
I'll be there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, if you guys want to try to, we're out there a lot. So if you and your boys want to try to do a deal where we all kind of hunt together, we could definitely, probably time something out like that. It'd be fun.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. I'll get Robert out there and get Chase. We'll go have a blast.
Hell yeah, dude.
Well, good deal, brother. Well, I appreciate you coming on the podcast, and it was great chatting with you and getting to learn more about your story and all that stuff, and what you love about the outdoors. And we'll have to do it again sometime.
That's right. Next step is blind material, right? We sit there.
That'll be a good
and bump fists in a blind.
I can tell y'all some stories in a blind that I can't really tell on air.
Can't we all?
Well, yeah, we got that.
And we make some stories in the blind that you can't tell on air too.
That's what makes them fun.
Oh, yeah. And just for the record, yeah, there's times when Tristan just has to turn the recording button off.
We do that a lot.
Yep. So, buddy, thank you so much, man. I can't wait to shake your hand and get in the blind with you and share the same passion.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all having me on.
All right, man. Take care.
Take care now.
I've been southbound, I've been hellbound, riding on the midnight train. Going too fast now, think I'll slow down, standing in the pouring rain.